Hey all, Peyton Marine here with another video. This is a In the Crosshairs, taking a look at the new Warhammer Kill Team preview. Now I say Kill Team preview, it's more just the models and what's coming in the box. I haven't looked at the community article yet and really dissected things, but I was able to watch yesterday, um, and this has been a long time since I've really been this excited. And like I've been excited, for like other things and mostly Space Marine stuff because that's my main army. But this is like non-Space Marine stuff as of right now. They did do a little teaser at the end, which I think is in the article we'll talk about. But I'm enjoying the break from Space Marine stuff as a Space Marine player because I just can't get caught up anyway. So it's nice to have a break so that I can get caught up on my stuff. And with that though, I'm very excited with Kill Team. I played many iterations of it. I played the one where you can only get like the PDF files online, like way back when. And then they released like the first time they kind of put those into a rule set, which was it was the same rules as 40K. It was just you basically just like pick like a tactical squad, like a 5-man. Like there was no, it was always like I was pretty sure it was always just a troops choice. And it was like usually because of the points, it was like minimum squad, and then you can kind of do upgrades. Um, for that. And that was basically the Kill Team. And then they came out with it was a Shadow War Armageddon, which my understanding was and I haven't played Necromunda, but it was kind of a amalgamation, I guess, of that of Necromunda and um, like Kill Team. And then they ended up re-releasing Necromunda and then Shadow War, which I really enjoyed. I really liked Shadow War a lot. Kind of sad that they didn't stick with that and they decided to come up with a new Kill Team. So they came out with that, and I really liked the first iterations, and then it started getting a little more. They introduced elites and leaders and just all this other stuff. And like anything, it got really bloated with 40K. Like that's kind of their thing. Um, and it requires you to have a stack of books to play. Now, I haven't played Warcry. I did build a Warcry Sylvaneth band, and then I just ended up never playing and sold the models after I painted them quite well, I think. But anyway, a lot of people just from the preview of seeing how the book's laid out are already saying that it's kill cry. They're saying that this kill team, the rules set up art, it looks like they're kind of taking Warcry and making it kill team. I don't know if that's good or bad. It seems like a lot of people love Warcry, and a lot of people that love it are saying that this is a good thing. There's a lot of other people that are like already posting like, I quit, I'm out of kill team. Anybody want my stuff? I don't know. So I'm gonna wait to see how that is, but I'm excited from the standpoint of starting new and fresh because I was already getting tired of all the kind of the bloated rules there. The last time I played Kill Team, like I hadn't played for forever. I had made a Tempestus Kill Team, but it was like heavily converted using Vansar models and the Vansar upgrades to, and then I had some Elysian I'm gonna say drop packs, but grab shoots, and then I had some heads from Puppets War, which to play in an actual Games Workshop event I can't use anymore of those models. But anyway, I basically made like my own version of an Elysian drop troop, but also like an ODST theme to it. I thought they looked. I mean, I think they look really great. Anyway, built them, played in like one local tournament just to kind of like break off the rust and get the dust off and preparation because I took them to Nova in 2019. I played in a few events there. But even there, I made a ton of mistakes because I had a lot of plasma, and for some reason I kept thinking like the plasmas were heavy or something, or like if I moved, my ballistic skill went down because I moved, and I forgot they were assault, and so I got just destroyed by this Necron player that had all flayed ones when I should have just been able to shoot them off the board before they got to me with all the plasma I had. But that was my mistake because, like I said, I hadn't really played, and I was really just kind of just playing just for the fun of it, really. Just because I had like an extra day and I wanted to play something kind of quick and smaller, not an extra day, but had worked it into the schedule where I could play something smaller than just large 40K all the time. So anyway, I'm excited to potentially get back into it at the beginning again. But with that, essentially, there's already a plan of a bunch of books coming out. Um, unfortunately, and they've said, and this has always been the kind of the running tagline with Games Workshop is that they are a, well, let me rephrase it. They always said in the past that they were a model company, not a game company or rules company. But now it's like they make all their money in all these rule books they put out. Um, I definitely think they've found essentially I don't know what you would call it. It's almost like a seasonal battle pass or something on like a game, something like that, where in order to play whatever iteration season to unlock different stuff, you have to buy the battle pass. Well, it's kind of the same way they're doing this with these campaign books and these rules. It's like if you want access to these new rules and these new cool equipment, you're gonna have to buy this new book for whatever amount of dollars. So essentially, granted, because they can't do like microtransactions, and it seems like the video game industry is actually starting to get away from that. Um, but this is their version of a battle pass. Is these or like these seasons or whatever is releasing these campaign books or whatever or supplements to basically keep getting that money because it doesn't cost, I'm sure, as much to just print out stuff, print out rules, and manufacture a book, and then that's what they sell it for. I'm definitely making. They're basically printing their own money. And with that, they didn't go any over. They didn't go over any rules in this preview. They said there's just too much to go over because it is a new system. But they main things they said was it's a new system. Uh, the kill team sizes will be about the same size still. Points, costs, and things may differ and change, and the way you build your roster is different somehow. I'm not. Like I said, they didn't go into it much more. They said there'll be articles coming up later. I'll definitely try to cover them as they come out. Um, but with that, so then they said that in this box, you're gonna have the core rules, and then you'll have the rules for the two factions that are in there. And then later there will be another book that comes out with other factions in it. And then you have this new like campaign book that goes along with Kill Team. So right there, you're gonna have to get the core rules, which everything they said in this box is going to be sold separately. So you don't need to go out and buy this box. It's technically a FOMO, fear of missing out kind of thing, where if you want this, because I'm sure if you get the box set, it's a better deal than buying everything separate, as usual. So there is I would say there's somewhat of a FOMO thing going on here, which is everybody's favorite phrase now when it comes to Games Workshop. Which, I mean, that's been recently, especially with the pandemic stuff going on, seems to be their new marketing strategy. Um, but they did say that everything will be coming out separately, so I'm sure you'll buy the core rule books. You can buy, the new models set all separately. They're not going to be exclusive to that, which we'll also talk in the this box set too, how there's no colored plastic. It's all the gray and multi-part, no push fit. Um, so anyway, it's an interesting time for sure. I'm excited and a little bit wary because again, I feel like already it seems like they're getting really quick and fast with the supplement books, which I'm not a fan of at all. So um, I don't want this to become a game where you have to have like $5 and you have to like really know all the ins and outs. And it's not so much even that, so much as like you need $5 to play your own army. It's just that you need to know just about almost everything else on everybody else's army, just to make sure you're not getting cheated on or whatever by your opponent. Your opponent's not trying to pull something they can't pull, which that's an annoying thing altogether with just 40K in general, that you have to like kind of know how everything works, especially if you're going to try to be more competitive. You need to get into the meta more and know all the little rules and tricks that people might try to pull. And even then, there's just so much. Yeah, but all right, let's see here. So I'm doing a new thing here using Zoom, just because I can kind of like do this background thing, which it's kind of nice that you don't have to see my hotel room that I'm in since I'm still on the road for work. Um, but everything is a little bit new, so let's check this out. So we'll share. Okay, so here is the article. Um, Now the models, I must say, like I was already kind of speculating. I was like, if they're, I don't know how they weren't going to have new Krieg models, but I was like, if they have plastic Krieg, I'm just gonna like poo myself because that would be pretty awesome. It's a really cool faction. It kind of gives me hopes that maybe someday we'll see an Elysian squad of plastic. Maybe not a whole range, and so far as of right now, this they didn't mention anything about an additional range or anything. They just called these Deathcore Krieg veterans, and everything for the most part, if it's not sold out, seems to still be available on Forge World for the resin. There obviously is disparity in quality and what they look like because the Forge World resin look a lot like thinner and skinnier models than the new plastic ones. They look a little bit more beefier. So anyway, so you have the incredible cinematic trailer. Um, if you haven't watched that, it's definitely awesome. I don't think this is. Oh, this is a kind of a replay here of the preview, but the cinematic trailer was pretty awesome. There's definitely a few things on there that I was just kind of like. My main issue with it is the sniper because he's like his buddies are like getting like pinned down by pretty heavy effective fire, and he's just already in position. He's not really doing anything. And then when they switch to him, he's like scoped in on his buddies that are in cover instead of already trying to get a firing solution to take out the orc. And then he finally, gets some kind of like hand signal, which I guess maybe that's why he was looking because they didn't have comms or something. But anyway, he gets like a hand signal from his, excuse me, his leader, and then finally turns and takes out the orc. And then he himself then later gets turned out. But as you can see right here, which is this playing? It is playing. I want to pause it. Well, that kind of defeated the purpose. We'll get down to it in a second. We'll talk more on these models and everything in a sec. But yeah, so it's a really cool cinematic trailer. Very cool indeed. So let's see, a new era of Kill Team, complete with a stunning box set. New Warhammer campaign book. Yeah, okay. Now this is 40K campaign book, so that would imply that it goes to both maybe Kill Team and regular. The final wave of this year's orc releases, including something called a Kill Rig, teaser trailer featuring a certain chapter of Very Crusade Space Marines, which I don't know what that's going to mean. This is Black Templar related. They didn't really show much in the trailer. It was kind of like an animated thing. So I don't know if that's just going to mean upgrades and stuff like that, kind of like what we saw with other chapters with the mainline codex chapters. We'll see. And maybe a supplement rules or something like that. So we have Kill Team. I don't even know how you say this correctly. Octarius, I would say maybe Octarius. Prepare to enter a new era of tactical skirmish. This is the All right, so that was just a quick overview. We'll look more into this. So many awesome things here now. I'm tempted myself to get the box set. I don't play either faction. I really try to slim down. But for Kill Team, that's kind of the benefit of Kill Team. You can have a bunch of different armies essentially. And at one point, I actually did have a lot of Kill Team armies, or Kill Team teams, I should say. And the idea is that just like it just gets you in, and next thing you know, you're trying to build like a whole new thing. Now with the Krieg, it's definitely interesting because if you want to build a Krieg army, you're gonna have to go over to Forge World, unless there's some secret plans for more plastic, which I would be down for that. I think it would be really cool to see a plastic range of Deathcore Krieg, just for the simple fact that I could hope that one day we get a full plastic Elysian drop. Pun. But will that actually happen? Probably not, unfortunately. But even if we just saw them come back in resin, I miss them. I wish they were back. But yeah, both, and we'll get into the model some more and what I like and kind of, I don't want to say dislike, but there's just some things I noticed were kind of missing that I wish were in there. But the other thing is I've kind of gotten away from like doing terrain stuff, and all of this is very orc related terrain. They said that it's like their first time really doing a full Xenos terrain kit or whatever, I guess, or table or whatever you want to say. Um, and um, yeah, I just find all the terrain and stuff that I did have, I just never really used, and ended up I had all these great plans for a bunch of like home hammer games, and just never really materialized because of time. And I've got 4 kids, so it's just hard to do. So the easiest thing usually was to just go to the local game store and play there. Um, so let's see, we got straight out of the box, 2 full kill teams ready to do battle at dangerously close quarters on battlefield full of orc terrain. The new core book rule set contained represents a total reimaging of how combat on the scale should operate in the 40,000 universe. For the coming weeks, we'll be taking a deep dive into the new rule set insights, creative team behind the best skirmish game ever. So here's a little bit better photo. Now, some things to point out. Um, there's some cards here. Not really too keen on what those cards might be. But right here we have some measuring tools. So I don't know. There's been kind of, it seems like a lot of back and forth for people on these. I think they're a good idea just from the standpoint of, because this is such a smaller game, you don't have to worry about these super huge like tape measures, and then there's always the potential when you're dealing with tape measures for the thing to like snap back and knock over stuff, or you drop it, and that could be catastrophic depending on what it falls on and how heavy your tape measure is and all that. So I do like kind of that idea that they have these, and I'm sure some people are going to go crazy and do crazy paint schemes on these, just like they've done in the past, and especially like I see that a lot in Star Wars Legion with the measuring devices they paint up. And someone else pointed out like they actually have dice with rounded edges, which is a pretty big thing um, recently, because they kind of have more squared off in their stuff. So let's take a look here at the deathcore models. Um, now I've always loved the look of deathcore. I thought they're always pretty cool. I don't know enough about their background and lore though to kind of like how they differentiate units or regiments or how they work for paint schemes, because I would definitely want to look that up and kind of come up with a cool paint scheme that I would want to do them in. Because, like I said, I'm very tempted to get this box set because I really like both teams, and I think it'd be cool to at least run a deathcore team, and again maybe even an orc team. Um, but yeah, with this paint scheme here with like the blue, it just kind of reminds me of kind of like the French and like the World Wars and stuff. Kind of always had like that blue overcoat thing to it. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. But yeah, so anyway, so you have like, this is a sergeant. I guess this is probably the comms operative or something, or maybe this is a demo. Maybe that's not a radio. Maybe it might be the demolitions that we saw in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, um, then we have just another trooper here, and then this really cool medic dude, which I think I like the medic guy a lot. His bag is interesting for sure. I like it says, I mean, it's cool, but it's also interesting how it's like it's got its own base. So I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. If you always have to deploy him with his little bag on a separate base, I don't know. But yeah, and then he's got some sort of vial of something. I'm not sure what he's pulling out of here, but and he even has like the medical uh, symbol here. I guess the kind of the helix there. So very cool. Now the other thing here that you don't really see, and they did show on the sprue, is that there are shovels. There are plenty of shovels. And I even had to put on at least the only shirt I have right here that has some sort of pickaxe and shovel like device on there to, go along with the trench digging. Um, but yeah, so then we have a couple more troopers. I think this is the comms guy here. Yeah, it's got to be. So the other guy was like a demo guy. This is your comms. This is a veteran of some kind. They just called him a veteran. Um, who I guess deciding to wear his medals into battle. He's lost an arm, so he's got a mechanical arm there. Oh, I gotta go back real quick. That's a interesting gun he's got there. It almost looks kind of like a flare gun, revolver, Luger thing. So that's interesting pistol he's got. Then we have these guys just kind of running. Then you got this guy. They talked about him some. He's got like some kind of like prayer litany thing that he's reading off. So I'm not really sure if he has like a specialist role of like inspiring his fellow troopers or what. We got here. We got an old stick grenade. Um, and this one looks similar to the guy that we saw earlier. I do like kind of like the stiletto bayonets they have on as well. Um, yeah, he looks exactly like this guy. He might be the same. So you might get at least two that are doing this kind of like bayonet charge. Yeah. About the only difference is their feet. Their feet are different. So anyway, so yeah, so that's the Creed guys. Now my only kind of issue with this, and I haven't seen the full sprue, and they didn't really go over the sprue as much. So they may have this. This may be a moot point at the end of it. But that there is no sniper specialist or sniper gun that I can see at this point, which I really liked from the trailer. I've kind of have a soft spot for the sniper variants. They always look really cool to me. So, unfortunately, no sniper. And the other unfortunate thing, which is really kind of bothering me the more and more I think about it, is this whole rule of third-party bits. Because I have a really cool, I want to say it's from Anvil Industries, um, that I used for a sniper variant on one of my kind of Kakaradon, or not Kakaradons, Catechin kill teams that I was building before I had to go on my work trips. They're all built. I haven't painted them yet, which that would be exciting to get back and paint them. Um, but it's a really cool sniper rifle, and it came in. I think I got two of that one, and so I have I know I have at least one extra one. It would be cool to like make one of these a sniper specialist using that weapon. And it's just so unfortunate knowing that because I don't go like crazy with the third party bits usually. It'll be like a bit here and there. And in the case of like my Elysian ODST, like all their helmets happen to be this third party bit, but that's it. And this would be again like my Catechin models, like I have only a couple heads and like the rifle, but not a whole ton of third party bits. And this would be the same case. And to know that I can't use that in an official GW event is kind of disappointing. Now, it's not like these GW events happen all the time in the States and that they're all over the place and I'm just gonna be missing out all the time. But it is unfortunate to know that if I do get the opportunity, I most likely won't be able to go, or I'm gonna have to piece together some sort of team that might not be what I want to take because otherwise I have to have like double of everything, like the standard stock model and then my own converted. So anyway, that's kind of off the point, but it is definitely disappointing. So a whole squad of Deathcore Craig and Plastic. Yes, it's finally happening. Kill team. Lifey, I, life and nasty, lifey. Life is nasty, brutish, and short in the ranks of the Death Corps, but their preferred style of attritional warfare ensures that those who do survive pick up a dizzying array of skills along the way. And again, I'm not sure how these will fit into the larger scheme of 40K. If they're just if you could bring them in your regular Imperial Guard army, because they're just called Death Corps Krieg veterans, is what they kept referring to them as. So I'm sure you can pick them up, and then they will essentially be called, I guess, take a veteran role in a guard army. They also did mention that this and the Orc squad is one of the first times, or the first time, that they've actually made these squads pretty much solely for using in kill team, where they mentioned they do come with a lot, so there may be a sniper variant in there, but they talked about like there will be melted guns and flamers and all those different kind of options. So if you want to switch their weapons around, it sounds like that is a possibility. So yeah, we'll see, I guess. All right, so they'll make cunning skill. They can muster. They'll need every ounce of skill they can muster as the orcs. aren't about to miss on a good scrap. So yeah, orcs look awesome. They're just so cool with just their kind of like cobbled together gear and just the clothing and stuff they decide to put on and all that is cool. You got like this grot with a grappling hook that's really cool. Um, and yeah, this guy with all these knives. He's got brass knuckles. You got a squig here with all kinds of like dynamite bombs, all kinds of stuff on him. Coming up to my favorite one here, which I call Scuba Steve Orc. This guy right here, I think he's really cool just because he got this scuba gear on. I think that's cool. And then this guy is also probably my next favorite one. He also has like a beanie, kind of like looks almost like a leather jacket, like a bomber jacket and pants. So he's kind of almost got like a very like World War II UK commando-esque kind of feel to him as well. Which they did mention, like they did try to go like super kind of like 80s spec ops movie, action movie aesthetic to a lot of this stuff. And I feel like they definitely hit it pretty good with all these. Then you got this is like a doorbuster, master key kind of thing. I'm not really sure how it works in the game, but at least it definitely is one of those things where different like police, SWAT teams, militaries and stuff you use to break down doors. It's like a hydraulic hammer that just you put up and it just punches through. So that's neat. Again, I'm not sure what exactly how that would play out, but anyway. Another orc boy here, and what we got? Some rocket shooter, something or others. This is supposed to be a comm specialist, and he's got some kind of coiled up copper gun. And they said that it can do some damage. Um, then we got this flamer. So you got like a burner boy. This right here too. So we definitely get a look of this really cool looking sniper model for the orcs, which I think is pretty dope. I love the way this guy looks in his big gun, just like it's like a sniper, but as soon as he fires, like you're gonna know exactly where he's at because it's just such a huge, high caliber. Doesn't look like there's anything about being quiet and sneaky there. So orcs look great. They look really cool. All right, so they decided to follow their fellow Greenskins for their sneaky like ways. Commandos look for an opportunity to put their unique skills to good use, and they delight in close range carnage. This is the first time Commandos have appeared as a plastic kit. So yeah, so they had like the old Commandos that were in a fine cast, and I thought always looked cool. Actually, that was another one I had a whole Commandos and what was the guy's? I can't remember. There was like a boss or something. It was Snake Bite or something like that. He was a like an orc leader that was like all commando, sneaky like. And that was another kill team I had in previous iterations. Never got around to painting them though. Got them all built up, and then again through the purge of just not enough time, ended up selling them. So that's also why I'm kind of wary too, is because again, I'm already so far behind. And with life and work right now, trying to just get caught up on my main Space Marine stuff. The idea of getting this, and one, then trying to part with the terrain, which is kind of hit and miss if people want that, and then trying to keep just the kill teams, and then building them, and then if I ever get time to painting them is another story, unfortunately. So that's kind of like part of it where I don't necessarily want to get it, and then they just sit there, and I never get around to painting them, which would be unfortunate. So here's some pictures of the terrain, which is cool, especially if you want to make like an orc board. I'm sure these will all be, well, they did say everything will be available separate. So if you got like the speed freaks, there was some stuff in there, like some little barricades and stuff. They had, um, they had some other previews, which I think they'll show in here of some other kind of terrain, like a new like orc bunker. They have like the Imperial Bastion. Okay, so what's in the box? So you get a squad of 10 Death Corps. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 10. How many orcs do you get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 orcs, a grot, and a squig. So a lot more here. Um, So yeah, I'm not sure how they will necessarily compare together because you have all different kinds of varying firepower here because you got a flamer, so it's not like gonna be like super long range. But then you also have like a rocket. You got like this guy who might be just close combat with his little doorbuster thing. You got this guy with just a bunch of swords. You got these grot and this little squig, so it'll be interesting. You'll get the core book, the manual. So this will have the rules for the two kill teams, dice, and these gauges. You get tactical ops cards, tokens, the board, and the terrain. So, and then you have, okay, so that's where this kill team takes place. And then they're releasing for your narrative campaigns, a actual campaign book here. And they didn't go too much into it, but there is talk of orcs and Tyranids all on here. So assuming orcs and Tyranid rules inside this new war zone. New armies of renown and codex supplements. Okay, Arcturus is packed full of both lores and rules for armies involved. Okay. Let's see. With xenohordes threatening to break into imperial space, monumental war effort is underway, aiming to prevent anyone from becoming too powerful. You can see from these battle scenes why it's so appealing to the orcs. A titanic throwdown is only a planet or two away, which means plenty of opportunities for aspiring war bosses to prove their mettle. All right, so now we have the new orc models. I won't watch this video. It's really good, but they go over. I mean, they're just going to showcase what they're going to show here. Now this is like I'm not really sure how this would work with the current orc range. This is definitely like it's like a whole new range. So it's like kind of like the way I'm taking it is it almost seems like kind of like a really brutal White Scars army. Because they all have like these riders and they just seem like they'll be really fast. But I haven't really followed too recently with some of the other releases they did a while back. But yeah, so they got this giant kill rig, which just looks like it's just got tons of DACA and all kinds of stuff on it. And then you have these new war bosses. You got this guy who is just on foot. Call him a beast boss, which is interesting. They have like a sniper squig or something up on his shoulder. It's kind of funny. Well, I say snipe, but yeah, he's got like a little, looks like almost like a little heavy bolter or something. So yeah, really, really cool models. Here's that new kind of bunker thing, which I saw a really funny meme about it. Where they had like Patrick's Rock, SpongeBob's pineapple, and then in place of Squidward's like tiki head was this, which was pretty funny. But yeah, so this is essentially I equate it to like their Imperial Bastion is what this is like. And then there's this is the Great White Squig um, with what does it say? Beast Snaga tribes with the revere of Mosgrad Scragbad as the toughest in the entire sector. So really cool model again, and it reminds me of like in the Lord of the Rings, the White Warg rider that they put in. I want to say maybe they added it in the Hobbit movies. I think it was not the actual Lord of the Rings, but in the Hobbit ones. This is kind of what this reminds me of. So some more detailed shots. He's got some interesting kind of what do I say? Kind of like I can't even think what like the like Maori tattooing or something like that, like a more Islander theme tattooing there. Um, and then this is another one that's like a non-named one. Basically, you can build a beast boss on a squigosaur. That's what they're calling these, are squigosaurs. So you can build like just another variant that's like a no-named one to kind of make your own. And then they have some new boys. So some cool stuff in here. Just new models all around, good updates. I mean, they all look great. I want to say orcs have been another army I've always wanted to start, but to be honest, if I could have every every faction and not just have them, but like painted and well, I think that'd be pretty cool. Some new what do they call these? Kilocopters or something? Death copters, that's right. Death copters. So these looking about as ridiculous as always. So, and I mean ridiculous as in a good way, like just orky ridiculousness. I mean, like this one here is pointing out like this has rockets on the blades to make it like spin faster. So, interesting though that they didn't use the flying stands. They did this kind of, you know, branch debris kind of stuff to hold up the models to make them look like they're flying versus those flying stands. So not sure why they went with the change, but I guess they just decided to. Not sure if that's gonna be something that's gonna be in future stuff or not. All right, so then here we just have like the teaser for the Black Templars. I'm not really gonna go over it because it's pretty much this picture right here. Like what you see right here is what the and some music and just that I think there was some talking or but basically there's some kind of teaser for some Black Templar stuff coming up. All right, and that is the end of the article. We'll back up here to the top. So yeah, so what are your thoughts? What are you interested in? What are you not interested? What do you think is good, bad, all the in between? Um, yeah, I'm pretty excited, like I said before, just in general with the idea of starting fresh, but already seeing that there's going to be a definite need for a few different kinds of books is a little bit frustrating. Um, but yeah, I mean that just seems to kind of be the I guess the way things are currently, which is kind of unfortunate. Um, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely excited, and again, like I'm not sure, but let me know. Are you planning on getting this box set? Are you gonna wait, pick things up individually, or wait and see how the rules come out? I mean, we're gonna be getting some articles in the next few days, weeks or so. Um, on what exactly is going on with this new kill team. Now, I think they said the release is in August. My guess is probably mid August will be pre-orders, and the release will be at the end of August. And again, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about if I just want to go and do it, or if I just want to wait, see how everything is, and then just go by the core rules. I already have my Elysian kill team, and I have my Catechint kill team that still need to be painted. And depending, I'll probably pick up. If I don't get the box set, I'll probably pick up the core rules, whatever the other book is you need for the other rules of factions. But then probably a box of the Death Corps veterans, just because they do look pretty cool, and I wouldn't mind putting together a quick kill team and at least doing them. But it's so tempting because orcs do look pretty cool too. I just don't want all that terrain, honestly. But anyways, that's where I'm at right now, undecided essentially. Uh, and I think I'll be more decided as time goes on and we start to see these other articles. At the very least, I may end up passing on the box set. That's kind of where I am right now. I'll probably pass on the box set unless I just am like something changes. I'm just like, I have to get both. I have to do the orcs and the Death Corps. Um, I mean, most likely it's gonna be a better deal than buying everything separate because you can get it cheaper, and if you can split or sell things out of it, usually you get a better deal. Um, but that can also be a hassle too if you're trying to find where to unload those extras, and everybody else is like doing the same thing. So it's kind of hit and miss with that. So all right, well, I guess I'll end that here before I keep rambling on. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like you've seen in my other videos, I've tried to change it up a little bit. Trying this Zoom format out just to change the background a little bit. I can see already like my hand looks all funky when I do that. So maybe the quality's not as well, but I'm also on the move, on the travel. So I have a very mobile setup right now. So I haven't been able to do a ton, but trying to change it up, see how things go. But anyway, hopefully you enjoy this video. Tell me your thoughts on everything. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And also check out the Facebook page, my Instagram, and the link below where you can see different projects and things I'm currently working on, 40K related and some other projects um, that aren't 40K, but mostly 40K related. So again, thank you for watching, and until next time.